Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday and time for Pop Speed Digital's Hot Take Tuesday. Today, we are going to talk about YouTube. If you are not there, you and your brand, you are missing out. So, Kylie, tell us what we're going to talk about.
So we're going to dive a little bit into the platform, and we're not going to cover like the extreme basics. YouTube is for videos. I think we all know that at this point. We're going to talk a little bit more about the logistics of the platform and some fun things and features and updates that have happened with it in the last few months, really. And just some experiences that we've had working with the algorithm and whatnot. We're going to talk about building an audience on YouTube and what that looks like and how effective it can be. And then wrap it all up with why you/your brand have a place there and should really start putting some attention towards it if you're not already.
Absolutely. We are actually recommending to all of our clients that in 2025, they put an increased emphasis on video overall.
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube is the second most used search engine just behind Google. So if you are not on YouTube with your product or services, now's the time to change that. It's the second most used search engine behind Google.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gone in and experimented with it. I've personally gone in and used it to promote some things. It's a really great place to be. There's very many, there are lots and lots of interest-based audiences that you can target.
Mm-hmm.
And people go there from the DIY crafty kind of person that's looking for, how to make something to, I know my husband used to go to YouTube to find out how to fix our 1970s era AC unit. I mean, he'd find it and he'd be able to fix it, and it kept limping along for quite a while.
Yeah.
And there's lots of like career focused and recipes and foodies and nutrition people and exercise people. I mean, there's just a huge range of audiences. And we even, we've done some research about engineers. Engineers use YouTube to get information
Yeah.
for planning and manufacturing and, all kinds of different things. So there's a lot of audiences there. What else would you think we should cover on this slide, Kylie?
I think it's important to note what you said, Lori, about how many niches are covered on YouTube.
Hmm.
When you're getting ready or considering whether you yourself are your brand and you're trying to build an audience personally, or that's for a brand that you run social media for or own or operate, whatever the case may be, think about what you use YouTube for. For us, we've seen a lot of clients that we've worked with in the past use it as essentially a resource hub for the brand. Like, we store our videos here, right?
Hmm.
And for audiences, that's really not what they're doing on YouTube. It's a great resource hub. It absolutely is, to go back and find all of those things. However, when it's used right and at its best, it's a money-making audience building machine. At a
Hmm.
thousand subscribers, it becomes profitable for a person or a brand. And shorts right now are huge. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide. Lori, I know we did an experiment with you personally with
Hmm.
shorts. But just it requires attention, it requires consistency. But when you think about what you use YouTube for, whether it's education or recipes or fitness videos or something for the kids to watch to keep them entertained, or whatever the case may be, YouTube has a space and a niche for it. It's a lot like
Hmm.
TikTok in that regard, where if you tell us your industry, we'll tell you a way to be successful and build an audience on YouTube.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So should we talk about my experiment now? What do you
I
think?
think that we should. Yes.
Okay, so I did an experiment because I'm in a lot of communities where people actively use YouTube, and somewhere they're bringing in a couple $1,000s a month on the channel. And so
Mhm.
I went in with my podcast. I have a podcast called Work Mom Says, Don't Be an Idiot. And I went in and did, 38 days. I wrote a book that has 38 chapters. So I took each chapter and I did a little 3 to 5 minute video. And then I cut those little videos up into shorts. And every day I posted a video, kind of every day. I mean, I did skip some days, but I'd say out of, 9 out of 10 days, I was posting something. So a 5 minute video, as well as taking a couple of, less than 60-second versions for the shorts stream, because YouTube has a streaming kind of thing, just like TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, where you can just go and scroll reels, and the algorithm will feed you things based on your interests. So what I noticed was a couple of things. If you are there frequently, you will get tons of viewers from shorts. The algorithm will feed, like mine is career advice. It feeds my videos to people looking at career advice. And the
Mhm.
longer you do that consistent content posting, the more views you will get. So that's one, put a pin in that. That's one thing that is absolutely necessary. However, another way to build an audience is to give people the information that they really need. And
Mhm.
I'm going to call out a company probably a lot of people haven't heard of, called JSW Steel, that does automotive steel for, they have a channel that is focused on automotive steel. And they get hundreds of thousands of views, and it's engineers discussing the different types of steel that are
Mhm.
used for safety and lightweighting, stuff like that. And they get hundreds of thousands of views. Now, I'm sure they're probably promoting it, which makes sense because you can promote on YouTube as well. It's a very cost effective promotional method. And there's a bunch of different ways to use it, everything from more light career advice to really heavy duty engineering information has a
Mhm.
home on YouTube. And there's a lot of things, there's little aspects of using it that you have to pay attention to. You want to use keywords in your titles and your descriptions. You want to use relevant hashtags, which it will suggest to you when you're posting. There's a lot of other things like that. Kylie, what else would you add?
Oh gosh. I mean, I mean playlists, creating specific
Mhm.
playlists for subscribers. I think shorts, I know we've already mentioned shorts, but I think it really deserves some emphasis. With especially with your experience, like
Mhm.
we saw it firsthand, and in a lot of ways we were testing that out for some clients that we have too, that we want to really build up their YouTube page and like their subscribers list, is
Mhm.
that sweet spot of consistency and valuable information.
Mhm.
I mean, we saw your subscribers tangibly increase during that
Right.
experience, right?
Yep.
So I think by, and again, each platform has so many functions and features that we could talk for 5 hours about. Analytics, I think, is another one. They give you really detailed analytics on the platform, to kind of go over what people are watching, how many, if you're improving month over month, things like that. It's really user friendly. It's very, um you can tell the way that it's run and the way that the algorithm works, that YouTube values that helpful, useful content,
Mhm.
and really puts your videos in front of who need to see them, to build that audience for you and to help the audience reach the information that they're looking for.
Mhm. Biggest piece of advice is you have to make an investment to
Mhm.
build your audience, and it can take a while. It's not doesn't happen overnight unless you've got, a very nichey kind of meme-y, kind of meme-ish. Is that a word? Meme-ish?
Meme-ish. It is
How do you
now.
use that as an adjective? I'm not sure.
Right.
Very, if you have a really hot topic and you handle it in a way that's extremely creative, you may get a whole bunch of hits at the beginning. But over time, you really need to build it and be consistent, and that requires a commitment. So, but again, my theory on that is once you make a commitment, you just stick with it, and pretty soon it just becomes what you do. And that's part of getting the most out of your YouTube experience, is just making
Yeah.
it part of what you do on a, semi daily basis. So,
Yeah.
all right. Now, what are we covering here, Kylie? It's up to you.
One. This one's just about, I think it's difficult to not go into it already, but why you or your brand has a place.
Yeah.
My husband, I've heard him say it a million times that you can learn anything on YouTube, and I make fun of him for it, but it's honestly true.
Yeah.
Um, it again, like I feel like a broken record a little bit, but at the same time, if you think about your TikTok For You page or what you use YouTube for and all of these video focused platforms, your algorithm feeds you what you want, and you
Mhm.
need to consider that when audience building on YouTube. People go on YouTube for literally everything. Like Lori said, it's become the second highest, like the second most used search engine behind only Google. So people
Yeah.
are going there for reviews, to watch their podcasts, to learn how to do something, for more information on any given topic. So for us, we've talked about our grief support client before. We use YouTube for webinars, for anybody to hold their resources, for anybody that's grieving, to be able to search, I need information on how to support my child through their grieving process. That's on YouTube. It's a perfect place for YouTube to be. It
Mhm.
combines the what TikTok misses in terms of being able to house long form video content and short form video content. And again, with how every industry niche topic is covered, I can't even off the top of my head think of a single client or industry that we wouldn't recommend have a YouTube
Mhm.
presence.
Yep. Yeah, we're pretty much recommending everybody do more video, more and more and more, because it's
Yeah.
again, as these channels have kind of fractured and you've got a million different places you can go.
Hmm.
TikTok is great for those short form quick hits. YouTube is where you can go deep. And
Yeah.
so you draw them in with your shorts, you go deeper with your longer videos.
Yep.
So there's a really compelling reason to be there. It doesn't have to be hard. You can be creative. Well, you kind of have to be creative, but think interest based content. And that's what you'd want to share there. So, and be consistent. And you never know what you can create. So
Yeah.
you can start bringing in revenue at 1,000 followers, but you can also start bringing in customers with
Mhm.
some really solid video content and a small promotional budget. So
Yeah.
if you'd like to know more about how social media like YouTube works, we'd love to hear from you. Kylie and I are both open networkers here on LinkedIn. Visit our website is popspeeddigital.com. Visit there to learn more about us. We also have a YouTube channel where we have housed several of the Hot Take Tuesdays that we've done on various topics, as well as our long form LinkedIn Live programs that we do here on a monthly basis. So
Mhm.
we'd love to hear from you. Let us know if we can help you out. And that's it for today. Thank you, Kylie. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Thanks.